If you guys are sick of wasting money on packs, go check out my sponsor. They offer the cheapest and most reliable way to buy coins straight from the source. Use code MAZE at checkout for 15% off your entire order.
What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to this week's Weekend League recap. This year's going to be part 2, so if you missed part 1, I would recommend going back and watching it because you're not welcome here. You're only invited to part 2 if you watched part 1, okay? If you guys are new to the series, how it works is we basically recap all 25 games from the Weekend League in 5-game increments. So part 1 was games 1 through 5, part 2 is 6 through 10, part 3 tomorrow is going to be 11 through 15. If you guys are interested in staying up to date with the Weekend League recaps, you can hit the sub button. Me personally, I don't care. You do you, bro. But for your sake, I would recommend subbing. It's probably what's best for you, and I'm just looking out for you. Going into game 6 right now, we are currently 5-0, and honestly, we haven't had much competition yet. I feel like we've kind of just been steamrolling over these boys, and in this part, we do match up actually with a top 100 ranked opponent. Do we take his cheeks? Does he take our cheeks? Watch to find out. And of course, as always, before we get into the video, we got to go over the best and the worst comment of the day. Starting with the best comment of the day coming from Primo Power, who said, "It's 12:30 a.m. and I'm up watching Maze play Madden 22. Wasn't disappointed." I love you, Primo. And the worst comment of the day comes from Domain Lamont, who said, "If the Raiders threw the ball to Waller as much as Maze did, I would start winning some fantasy football matchups. Sad face." And the only reason this is the worst comment is because I wholeheartedly agree. It is incredibly heartbreaking. Not only that I have Waller on my fantasy team as well, but that the Raiders have just been shitting the bed lately, especially against the Chiefs. Not happy. And the final thing before we get into the gameplay, boys, some of you probably know, but some of you may not. If you guys want to learn how to play Madden exactly the way I do, I actually created an entire course over on my website, mazomatic.com. You guys can learn my entire offensive scheme from every route combo to every setup I use in-game, and you can be taking cheeks in Weekend League just like your boy. So once again, you can find that entire course over at mazomatic.com. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Getting into it, boys, the team has not changed at all. As I told you guys in the last video, we played all these games back to back to back. So 25 straight, we didn't make any changes to the team, and the team is going to be exactly the same for all this Weekend League recap. In the last video, we did expose Deion Sanders for kind of being a bum.
This is trash.
He's pretty good in most coverages, but when I would press with him in man coverage, he got burned quite a few times. And you guys are going to see in the subsequent, is that the right word? In the following videos, he's going to get burned quite a few more times. So be prepared for that. In this game, this is game 6. We're starting off on the defensive side of the ball. We're starting off hot. A Charles Woodson interception, a little spin move, get tackled at the 34-yard line, and we're starting off with a turnover, which is always a good sign because in Madden 22, it's extremely hard to get turnovers. So if you start the game in the very first set of downs with a turnover, I feel like 99.9% of the time you are going to win that game. So feeling good, feeling confident. We're going to keep the win streak alive. Another dot down gets the first down inside the 15-yard line. From there, we are looking for our out route, which got bagged.
Damn.
JC Horn taking another look. We've got short in elite on Darren Waller. You see, it does not light up right there, which I can't really complain about, but normally it would light up on out routes. And then JC Horn obviously played it phenomenally. So starting off giving the ball right back. We started off with a turnover, and then we started off on offense with a turnover of our own. So it's just like a big reset starting from ground zero. We get him in a 4th down on his next set of downs. So already using a 4th down on his first set of downs and a 4th down on his second set of downs. So things are looking pretty good for our defense. A nice little juke move gets him a 1st down out to the 45-yard line. But like I said, we're getting him in late downs early, which means over the course of the game, I'm assuming we're going to get turnovers. There's one right there. Reggie Nelson tipped at the line, intercepted, and he's taking it back for 7. A little jurtle into the end zone, jurtle all over that man's face. Why don't you? And starting off on top. That's how we like it. 2-point conversion is good, and now the score is 8-0. We get him in another 3rd down. So like I said, these late downs are great situations for us to be in if Deion Sanders' bum ass could tackle. Unfortunately, that's not the case. He gets another 1st down. Now we got him in a 2nd and 16 here. He's going with the play action. Looks like some type of crossing routes. Michael Vick dropping back, fires one right at our user, and we intercept it. Now you see it says timeout on the field. I think we all know that that actually means there's a flag on the field because EA can't get their game right. But as you can see, I don't think this should be a flag. I mean, I might have nudged him a little bit. I might have touched him, but I was playing the ball. I was in perfect position. They give him the defensive pass interference, gives him the ball in field goal range, and he gets a free 3 points out of that because that guy did not earn any points on that drive. Got bailed out by that flag. Now our next drive, we have a wide open Randy Moss on the corner route. He makes 1-man miss. He's going to make 2-man miss. Yes. Then he couldn't outrun Ronnie Lott. He gets tackled by Deion Sanders, but that was a huge gain inside the red zone now at the 18-yard line. Now we're going with a little run to our MVP, Cordero Big Dick Patterson. That's not his actual nickname. I'm going to think of a better one for him right now. Patty with the fatty.
What you mean you not fucking with me no more? But I'm trying to rock with you though. Come on, son. What you mean?
We're going to call him Patty with the fatty from here on out. And as you guys can see on this, we had two defensive backs coming in. Mike Haynes, 95 speed. Reggie Nelson, I think 93 speed. Vic just outruns them both. Don't know how that happened. My Vic definitely doesn't do that. I got to learn the technique. But on 2nd and 9, he's going to throw it to the running back in the flats. Reggie Bush with jukebox can juke out one guy and then take a huge hit. 1-800-CLOCK Cleaners. You call us, we clean your clock. Giving us the ball back late in the third quarter. We're up by 2 possessions. It's a 3rd and 7. We convert. And from here, we are just going to chew clock. We're going to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. If it's a 3rd and long, we're going to pass and we're going to convert. We already converted 1 3rd and long, and we just converted a 2nd. You see, there's only 3 minutes left in the game, and we just got a fresh set of downs in the red zone. We are going to continue to run this ball. 2nd and 3 here. Another 1st down from Patty with the fatty. We go down, and we continue to chew that clock. We kick our 3, and from there, he didn't really have any opportunity to come back. Only 49 seconds, and that's GG's. 6-0. Momentum has been on our side. We are continuing the undefeated streak, getting into Game 7. You saw my opponent's squad, pretty ferocious, similar to our own, but it looks like he's going to be running cover 3 out of the gate over and over again. So when someone hits me with cover 3 quite a bit, I like to just get in doubles and just start hitting the seams on them. Just hitting the seams over and over and over again. Sometimes I tend to force it a little too much. I end up throwing interceptions from that, but it is very easy and brainless, and I just love to do it. Get him out of cover 3. You know what I mean? Don't bring cover 3 around here, boy. 4th and goal right here from the 3-yard line. We're in a little bit of a tough spot, not finding much open, and I tried to throw it underneath. If I would have just waited on my backside in route, that definitely comes open late. I just got a little impatient and threw it too early. And because of that, we walk away from that drive with 0 points. Never a good sign when you walk away from a drive with 0 points. You want at least 3, especially on your opening drive. It just sets the tone for the rest of the game. So now this guy's going to be playing a little bit smarter, a little bit more conservative because, you know, he's kind of on top right now. And he has the luxury of playing passive because he can run the ball. He can check it down underneath. And there's no pressure on him to score fast. Because like I said, he got an early turnover. He's got the momentum right now. And so on 3rd and goal, he's going to throw it right there. And a great effort from Deion Sanders. As you can see right there, I didn't click on. I was going to let him make a play. And bum-ass Deion coming through once again. Fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Now 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go in the half. You see we hit the seams again. My opponent does not want to get out of cover 3 no matter what I do. Now his user actually followed that pass I was going to throw. So Dan Marino rolls out. Playmakers up. And looking like Michael freaking Vick. Dagger Dick Dan on the run, crossbody, playmaker. Pressure in his face, throws it up. Diablo misses on the user, and Patty with the fatty goes up, makes a great ag catch. Now 4th and goal once again. Thankfully, it looked like my opponent blitzed his flat. That would have been horrible to get caught in a 4th and goal 2 different times and convert neither time. On the 2-point conversion, we do convert as well. So with only 7 seconds left in the half, we timed that perfectly, and we walk away with 8 points. And despite turning the ball over early, we actually have a lead going into the second half. Now my opponent throws to the flats. We actually played hard flats right there with Ronnie Lott, get an interception, and now we have the momentum. We have the time on our side. However, it doesn't last for long because 3rd and 7, right after our turnover, he gets one himself. A great user from him, a bad read from me. And now, you know, he has an opportunity to win this game. 4th and 8, we get it. We play some really solid D here, really thick, solid D. He throws it up into traffic, and Jared Cook. Man, my DBs are just killing it today. Look at Ed Reed with the beautiful effort. Just jumping up one-handed swat. Yeah, bro, it's not like that guy's 6'7" or anything. You know what I mean? Like, have some fucking awareness. And as you guys know in this game, if you get cheated, your opponent will score on that drive no matter what. So he scores a touchdown. We're in the 4th quarter now. Now I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. We're down 5 points. We got a 4th down in our own territory. And thankfully, we had the open dot. Devin Hester, great catch. Gets a few extra yards. And with only 3:30 on the clock, you see, I'm already chewing clock. I'm going to make this the last drive of the game. I'm only down 5. So I go down, I score, I take off the rest of the clock. I think I win this game right here. 3rd and 3. We're doing a pretty good job. Only 1 minute on the clock here. And we get insta-shed, and we get sacked. So now we're in a 4th and 11. This is a very dangerous situation. Only 30 seconds on the clock. He runs with the running back wheel and barely misses out on that post. That was a very, very close throw that was honestly too close for comfort. I think, looking back, I'm very grateful that we converted on that. 1st and 10 now with about 20 seconds on the clock. Dagger Dick Dan gets it done with his legs. Now inside the red zone, 20 seconds on the clock. We throw the curl route, Darren Waller down to the 1. We run up, spike it, 6 seconds on the clock, 1 timeout. We run it with Vic. We roll out, and he gets in the end zone. Only 2 seconds left on the clock. I think we played that absolutely perfectly. We came up clutch on the big downs, and we get the victory. 7-0. The win streak prevails. Getting into game 8 right here. You see, my opponents only got 90, 89, 89. So when I see that in the top 3, I kind of start to assume that this guy might be a little bit of a bot. You know, might be a little bit of a robot. And his first throw proves me correct. 2nd and 11, we got the interception, and we're starting out the game with a turnover. And I already said earlier in the video, the games you start with an early turnover, I feel like you should definitely win those games every time. So let's go win this game then, baby. Patty with the fatty takes a handoff. A lot of traffic, and one cut gets right between the blockers. Got some open space, and Patty with the fatty in the end zone for 6. Now for the 2-point conversion, guess where we're going? Right back to Patty, baby, 8-0. And the way this guy's first drive went, I would not be surprised if we got another stop and got an early turnover. Deion Sanders finally showing that maybe he's not a bum. Maybe he's not a liability out there. He fakes like he's going to man up on the inside receiver, then comes back down in the flat. That's just a soft squat right there. Soft squat logic is so fucking weird and glitchy this year. They play super strange, and a lot of times it hurts you. Sometimes it helps you. Right there, it obviously helped us. And we got the interception, and then, of course, we followed up with a touchdown of our own. So now 16-0, still in the first quarter. This guy is running play action nonstop. 1st and 10 here. Fires one deep. We got a man there. That is Charles Woodson going up. Perfect timing, user pick. If you're going to throw a jump ball, I feel like Charles Woodson probably not the guy to throw it on. He's, what, like 6'2", 6'3"? Pretty tall DB. So, again, if you're throwing jump balls, I wouldn't test my boy Charlie. 8-0 now, getting into the next game, and it's going to be the Battle of the Bay. Even though the Raiders aren't in the Bay anymore, it's still the Battle of the Bay, baby. Niners versus Raiders, starting off hot. That's Antonio Brown with a deep, deep crosser post. I don't really know what route that was, but he gets down to the 2-yard line, and then he follows it up with a very questionable read. Diablo in a hook curl, literally designed to only play that area of the field, and he watches Randy Moss catch the ball in front of him. So Diablo, maybe not the best in coverage. You know, maybe he's a little bit better as a user, and I got to keep that in mind. But we're starting off down 7-0. You see my last 2 games, we started off hot. We were starting off with a turnover early in the game. This one, not so much. It's a little bit scary when your opponent bombs you early. You don't really know what you got to deal with for the rest of the game. But we got to go down and get the job done on offense and level this playing field at a minimum. 1st and 10 here. We got Darren Waller on the out route. We hit him really late, and I've been noticing his zones are kind of playing in an area and then vacating a little bit. So I noticed the middle of the field is what's really open. Right there, we throw it to the middle of the field again. That was Darren Waller on an out route. We just threw it early enough to hit him in that open spot in the middle of the field. For the 2-point conversion, we throw a low pass, which is a diving catch from Devin Hester. A great catch, honestly. And we take the lead. So even though we started off down, we started off by giving up a big play. We are now in the lead, and a great user on our next offensive series puts us in a big advantage right here. You see, I was usering with Diablo close to the sideline, where normally you're not going to get a good animation on the sideline. Usually you're not going to toe tap with a DB. So I swerved out and then back in. And I guess on defense, there's no legal touching because we got the turnover. There was no penalties. And now we're in the driver's seat, baby. 3 minutes left on the clock in the first half. We have a 1-point lead. And if we can go down and make this a 7, 8, 9 million point lead, we're getting the ball back in the second half. So any lead, honestly, going into the second half is going to be huge. You see there's 2 minutes on the clock. We didn't do a great job of burning the rest of the clock, but we do get a touchdown. Fortunately, the 2-point conversion was not good, so we're only up 7 now. But only 1/3 in the clock. I think we can continue to play defense. I was wrong. We cannot. Randy Moss on the wheel route, beating my cover 2. That is something I'm going to have to watch the rest of the game now that I know this guy is aware. And I guess I'm a fucking idiot because I didn't even watch it the very next play. But as I told you guys a little bit earlier, looked like he was running a cover 4, and then one of his linebackers was actually in an inside third, which was weird. So as I said, he was vacating the middle of the field. I had my guy on a hitch route that time. It was actually an option route. So if he was manned up, it would turn into an out route. If it was zone coverage, he would hitch it up right there. So it was honestly the perfect route for the situation and the defense this guy was playing. And then with 10 seconds left, we dot on the post route to get inside the 10-yard line. And from there, it's Darren Waller once again on that option route. So the thing about option routes is sometimes they're a little weird, but the option route from the running back is amazing. And then the option route from my tight end in U-trips in one of my plays I run is also very, very good. So that was the kind of the play I was relying on to beat this guy's defense and kind of forcing him to switch up his whole game plan, because I could tell from the beginning of the game he was running the same shell every single time. And so that really was a buster for him, and he didn't really know what to do after that. As you can see, we chewed off most of the clock in the second half. We ended up getting a touchdown anyways. So now with a 15-point lead, There's only 120 on the clock. Not much this guy could do. We tried to force it to that wheel route again, but we made the adjustment, got the interception with Jesse Bates, and now our record is 9-0. So still undefeated going into game 10. And we match up with a top 100 ranked opponent. Now, I recognize this man's name from past Maddens and this Madden. So definitely a man who is deep in the Madden streets, as they say. And you can see because early he was running big dime 146, sending a lot of pressure at me, something I was actually having trouble with. So we get in the second and long. I check down to the flats, and we end up actually converting that, getting a new fresh set of downs, which is then when I switched to a slot. And as someone who runs big dime 146 myself, I knew that a slot is a 146 killer. We just ran that inside zone. We got a weak box on him, and we ended up scoring on our very first run out of a slot. Then, unfortunately, on the 2-point conversion, he played some pretty good defense, and his corner's able to make a play on the ball. But we're starting off 6-0, which is pretty good. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I would have liked that to have been 8. And you can see on his offense, he was operating mostly out of verticals. And verticals, honestly, is such a bot play, but at the same time, it's so good. If you know how to run it right, it is so good, especially because when I run a cover 2, which is what I primarily run, verticals is a cover 2 shredder in the right situation. We ended up getting an interception, but our joy didn't last for long because a tipped pick at the line. I mean, he blitzed the entire house. He got the swat, and then his other guy intercepted it. That happens way too often in this game. I feel like that doesn't happen all that often in real life. And I don't think it should happen as much as it does, whether it's a D lineman picking it off or some blitzer. I just feel like the tipped interceptions are way too frequent. He gets it a 4th and goal. We send the heezy, and we get the hit on the quarterback to get another turnover. So 2 turnovers early for us. The issue is we're pinned back in our own end zone. I got to say, this was one of the coolest user click-on plays I've ever had. Pass led it to the outside, clicked on, swerved a little bit, got the catch, and just like that, we're out of the danger zone. So 2nd and 10 now, 45 seconds on the clock. Another dot over the middle to Patty with the fatty. Gets us close to the 40-yard line where we get caught in a 4th down. Now, this is pretty big because we're in our own territory. Only 20 seconds on the clock. Not much to gain and a whole lot to lose. You play some pretty good defense, but our route from Patty keeps going, and we find him late. Toe tapping on the sideline. That was a 3-point play right there. And not even that. That was probably a 6-point play at a minimum because if we don't convert that right there, not only do we not get points, but he's already in field goal range with about, 15 seconds on the clock. So that was a huge play to end the half right there because instead of a game where we're only up 3, we're now up 2 possessions at 9. He's feeling a lot of pressure. On his next drive, he throws it right to my user. We get the user lurk, and if we can score any points on this next drive, it's going to be GG's. I'm fully convinced it's going to be GG's. On top of that, we're going to be chewing the clock out of a slot. Fatty Patty. Patty with the fatty. Whatever you want to call him. Just the MVP, man. I can't get enough of this guy. I just feel like Cordero Patterson is the best. Now, I heard that Bo Jackson is going to be coming out this weekend, so we are probably going to be replacing Patty with the fatty with Big Boner Bo. Now, that's not an official nickname, but, that's what I've heard in the streets, that we might be calling him Big Boner Bo. I don't know. You guys think of nicknames for Bo Jackson. We will decide when he comes out. But that is going to do it for this video, man. 10-0. And if you want to tune in tomorrow to see how we finish in Weekend League, you can see games 11 through 15. Hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button down below. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow.
Now I'm on the outside.